Hello there, students. Now we're finishing our online course, High-Tech Marketing, and I want to provide the last topic, lecture number 12, and the topic is about the strategic considerations for the high-tech companies. So, according to this topic, you can see the content of my lecture, and I'm going to present the emerging trends in high-tech markets and why we should provide usually flexible strategy if we want not only survive in high-tech markets, but if we want to be competitive and if we want to provide a competitive strategy. Also, I will explain you the importance of the corporate social responsibility which can be provided by the company and how does corporate social responsibility influence on high-tech marketing strategy, why it's so important to understand the features and issues from the corporate social responsibility. Also, I will explain you the importance of social entrepreneurship in high-tech, and you will know about the main domains inside the social entrepreneurship and how can be realized competitive strategy in that domains. Also, I will present you BOP strategies, and after that I will finish with case and discussion. And a lot of practice, you have to expect a lot of practice in class after my last topic. So let's start. Here you can see the model of the internal considerations in high-tech marketing, why it's so important to understand all of these considerations. You can see here that it's some kind of pyramid or steps, and we have to move from each step to the other step to find the competitive advantages from this model and just get the top where we can find these enhanced odds of success. And here you can see that each step, during each step, we're responsible, we have to provide different activities when we try to find the effectiveness inside our high-tech marketing strategy. Let's start moving from the bottom of this model to the top of this model. So let's start from the first step. This step is called like the strategic market planning and key strategy decisions. So I told you the topic about the strategy planning in high-tech companies, and you already know that if we want to prepare the effective marketing planning strategy and find these key strategy decisions, we have to prepare market research, we have to investigate external and internal environment, and also we have to analyze what kind of dimensions or demands we will be responsible for according to our high-tech industry and what kind of demands or segments of the market we can enter. So, what exactly we can do during this step? First of all, we have to prepare or organize the strategy marketing program, and this program can be based on the 4Ps or 4Cs model, and of course it can be based on different type of the partnership. And after that we move to the step number 2. This next step called like the creating competitive advantage. And I told you earlier that competitive advantage is based on the core competencies. And core competencies we may extract from the key factors of our marketing strategy or even key factors from our internal environment. So according to this step, we will investigate the resources and competences first of all, because the resources is also very useful and very important for us to understand if we have enough infrastructure, if we have enough resources to follow the strategy, to meet the needs and wants of consumers, and what we have to do next. And also we have to test superiority and sustainability. So it means that we have not only present the effective marketing strategy, but also we should submit some kind of indicators inside the marketing performance system and evaluate each step inside our marketing program. I will provide an example. For example, if we're speaking about the high-tech company, and let's imagine that our high-tech company are going to produce new version of smartphone. So we know that the marketers of this company already prepared the marketing program, And what kind of indicators we can submit inside this high-tech marketing program around if we're speaking about the new version of smartphone. So the first of all, it will be indicators which surround the feedback from the customers. So it can be, and you already know that the famous tool which can help us to be connected with the customers and evaluate their feedback, it's the CRM system. And inside the CRM system we can evaluate our efforts around the customer behavior, and this system can help us to modify our communication strategy or other strategy which can be helpful for us to find the right decision with the customers. Also, after that, we have to move to the level number 3. And inside this step number 3, you can see that we have to prepare the culture and climate in innovative companies. And as you remember, I'm talking to you with about the culture of creativity and culture of innovativeness. So we have to prepare this innovative culture and climate inside our company. In this case, we have to find these obstacles to being innovative. And it can be not only some kind of external factors, but also there is a lot of internal factors that can obstacle our opportunity to be innovative. It can be the dangerous situation inside the team, and you remember that I told you about some kind of situation when employees inside the project, they just afraid of producing new ideas because they are afraid to be criticized. So we have to prevent this case and manage these obstacles. And also we have to find the facilitators of innovativeness. It means that we can base on the creating competitive advantages, so we can base on competitive advantages, so we can base on right culture and climate. Of course, we should provide relevant human resource management and how to operate with different innovative teams and other things. So we should do it when we try to find the right considerations inside the high-tech marketing. After that, we can move to the step number 4. Also, it can be the small company challenges. What are the challenges for the small high-tech company? So, first of all, before we start discussing challenges, we have to understand that when we're speaking about the small business, we can find advantages and disadvantages of this form, of this size of business. The advantages are small business usually more flexible, and it's easy to manage changes when you're small. Also, if you're a small company, especially if we're speaking about the high-tech market, so in this case we can operate with specific strategies and just try to find a specific segment and take this niche, marketing niche, and operate only with this product in this segment. Why not? What about the disadvantages? Of course, if you're small, a lot of risks can cover you. So first of all, it's very difficult to manage competition if you're small. The second, usually small companies, they have not enough resources and core competences to prevent and manage their competition, to manage the customers and influence on customer decision. And other thing, but it also the disadvantage which provides the opportunity for small companies. If you're small, you will be able to join the other partnership, and it's easy way to make the strong alliance. For example, if you're small, if you just try to enter the partnership and find the advantage there. Next level, you can find here the next step of these considerations is the relationship marketing. And I told you that if you try to build a strong relationship with customers, competitors, deliverers, and other members of high-tech markets, so in this case, what kind of decision it can be? For example, partnering with important stakeholders. And important stakeholders, it can be not only the owners of the business, but also it can be members of the special partnership of the segment or of the market, who are interested in your product, who are going to support your technologies and can help you to produce new ideas. So that's why relationship marketing is very important, and that's why I explain you the communication field inside the relationship marketing. The next step you can find here also to being market oriented. So what does it mean? I told you about the different strategies when we're speaking about the high-tech markets. We can choose strategy called market-oriented strategy, or we can choose the strategy called the technology-oriented strategy. But both of them can be useful if we try to promote the high-tech products. And what does it mean to be the market-oriented? So we can use such kind of activities: secure, disseminate, use information, and the main task for us, if we are the market-oriented, to find the niche, exactly the right decision for our customers, investigate their needs and wants, try to provide the relevant functions and features of our product, and try to build the competitive pricing policy and even advertising. After that, we move to the next step called effective cross-functional marketing and research and development collaboration. And now you know that we can meet different strategies inside the cross-functional marketing, and it means that we at the same time we using the most important and famous tools of advertising and promotion. So if we are able to use as much tools as we can, it will be cross-functional marketing. We can engage in different fields. We can find the support from our partners, from the customers, and we can build a strong and effective strategy. So if we will move from all of these activities, we will try to get the right strategy for our success. What else? Here you can see the steps and procedure of strategic market planning process in high-tech markets. So in the central part of this feature, you can find the planning process, and you can find that the strategic marketing planning process is some kind of circle process. And usually we start with the defined goals and missions. So here will be the first step. And I told you that to define the goals and mission of your company, you should do the market research before. After that, you should choose the arena, or it also means the segmentation of the market. And inside this direction, high-tech company has to choose not only this segment, right segment of the market, but also has to find and prepare the right customer's profile, and find the opportunities to change their activities and to find new markets. Because as I told you earlier, it's really important not to stop with the existing product or with this idea. We have to develop each time our business and our high-tech products. The third step should be identify opportunities. So that's why SWOT and past analysis are very important here. And according to these tools, when you're preparing the SWOT or past analysis, you can find the threats, opportunities, weaknesses or strengths of your business, of your product. And I recommend you not only use the SWOT analysis for the business, for the strategy, but also we can use this kind of opportunities for existing product. For example, you just take the smartphone and just try to describe the strengths of this device, the weaknesses of the device, and other forms. It's a very productive strategy and a very proactive tool. After that, we move to the step number 4, make tough choices. Tough choices, it means to make right decision about the segmentation, about the customers, about the pricing policy, marketing program, and other things. After that, we move to the step number 5, where we should plan key relationships. With whom we can arrange these relationships. It can be relationships with the customers, it can be relationships with the consumers and the relative members. It can be relationships with the stakeholders, even relationships with the competitors and other members of the market. So through these relationships, we can reach the effective partnership and can enhance our core competencies and find new alternatives, how to survive in the market, in this market, how to find the new possibilities for our products and services. After that, we move to the step number 6. It's about the completing the strategy. So how can we complete the strategy? We should arrange the special marketing program, implement tactical tools inside the program, what exactly we are planning to do according to these main goals, and also submit the indicators of evaluation. So each step inside this marketing program should be evaluated. After that, we have to understand the profit model. So we have to build strong relationship between our marketing, research and development, and financial aspect. So for example, if we know that this product should be interesting for our customers and we are sure that these advertising or promotion tools will be acceptable for our customers, so we can make the relationship and calculate the cost and the benefits and find this financial profit. So we have to understand if it's profitable model or not if we want to produce and describe this feature of the product. And after that, only after that, we move to the last step, implement strategy. And why you can see here that why we have some kind of circle model, because even after you finish with implementing strategy, it's not the end. You will again move to defining goals and mission, because after you implement the strategy, you will get the feedback from your customers, and of course they will send you their willingness, the expectations, and high-tech company has to ask them about the expectations. So in this case, it's some kind, if you move to the second circle of this model, it's some kind of opportunity to change the strategy, to modify and improve your strategy, so to find more success in high-tech markets. So what about the main trends affecting high technology business nowadays? Economic trends, of course, competitive trends, regulatory, political and legal trends, social, cultural, demographic trends, technological, and trends in availability or impact on natural resources. And if we're speaking about the first four trends, they're very close. You can see that they are very close to the SWOT analysis and pest analysis when we're speaking about these four main areas. But what about the trends in availability of natural resources? It's some kind of new trend. And as I told you, more than 30% of modern high-tech projects, they are responsible for some kind of social projects. And that social projects try to solve the social problems and ecological problems. So that's why it's very close with the impact on natural resources. And here you can find also very interesting statistical information which was found in 2007. That more than 60% of business executives nowadays say global climate change significantly affects their business strategies. It means that the natural environment affects the behavioral aspect of the high-tech companies. It affects the infrastructure, it affects technologies, it affects even mining of the managers and marketing. So that's why it's so important to notice that. What else? So how can we make the thoughts about the forecasting in high-tech marketing, and what the final thoughts on leveraging from dominance? So first of all, in the future, the high-tech companies, they want to reap the creative rewards from introducing radical innovations, but only in that case if they have the ability to quick follow the industrial dynamics. So it means that the most important trends nowadays follow the dynamic in the industry, try to meet the requirements from the standards, and also it's the very good opportunity to be successful if you can influence on standards and if you can improve them. So that's the reason. Also, what else? Here you can see the triple bottom line, some kind of model which helps us to understand the modern aspects of the strategy considerations. And what is it exactly, triple bottom line? So companies today are using expanded criteria to develop their business strategies and to measure their success, for example, economic, environmental, social criteria. And these economic, environmental and social criteria, it means alternatively profits, it's economical criteria, the planet, it means their environmental criteria, and people, it means their social criteria. So, often referred to as the triple bottom line, companies today must concern themselves not only with their economic profits, but also with social and environmental profits. This includes corporate social responsibility initiatives and corporate philanthropy, as well as efforts toward environmental sustainability. And now I want to tell you about the predominant trends affecting high technology businesses. They can be economic, competitive, regulatory, political, socio-cultural, socio-demographic, technological, and natural sciences. And here you can see the activities which belong to this triple bottom line. So this triple bottom line again means that these trends with the people, planet, profits, they influence on high-tech strategies, they influence on trends in the high-tech markets and industries. So it's very important to understand the role of corporate social responsibility. Usually high-tech companies, they have to concern with the social profits as well as financial profits, and it means that this kind of model concerns not only the domestic but also multinationals, entrepreneurships, and the regional entrepreneurships. So here you can see the additional definition of the triple bottom line considerations in high-tech companies. You can see here the different field, and I want to tell you that the most famous companies which are responsible, which use the triple bottom line model and which are successful with their social and environmental arena, they are company Salesforce. So you can find this company through the internet and check the examples. How does this company realize its social marketing strategy? Also Intel very interesting, has very interesting experience in corporate social responsibility, and of course General Electric. So if you will check the practice of implementation of social corporate responsibility in these companies, so you can find very interesting information. So what about these considerations? Here you can see the CSR, it means the corporate social responsibility, and it means that most of the modern high-tech companies, they try to be focused on people, planet, and profit. So they try to meet these economic, environmental and social trends. Also, they try to serve base of the pyramid, and pyramid, that means the steps of the high-tech marketing, which I told you before. And also they try to be involved into the social entrepreneurship. So in this case, they try to find not only financial but also social profits. They try to bridge the digital divide, so it means they try to find the new ideas and investigate new technologies which can be implemented in high-tech industries, in most important high-tech industries. And in this case, it's some kind of attempt to solve the social problems, so very fast. So they have to be respond to the risk and also the opportunities of global climate change. So that's why it means the environmental element, and navigate ethical controversies. So ethical issues, it means how to control the people and how to be social oriented. It's very important for high-tech companies. So now we move to such tool like the corporate social responsibility, because this tool helps the high-tech companies to survive in different markets, to build a strong competitiveness and to realize the effective competitive strategy. So the first of all, you should know that of course we can have some debates and criticism to the corporate social responsibility. But first of all, I want to tell you my opinion that I'm sure that the corporate social responsibility can help high-tech companies to build a stronger strategy and to produce more interactive products and services for the consumers. And here you can see the key drivers of the corporate social responsibility: litigation, activism, government policies, the responsible investment, foreign investment, and domestic and foreign consumers. So if we try to provide the issues of the corporate social responsibility not only for our employees inside but also for outside members, customers, stakeholders, competitors, even competitors, so it means that corporate social responsibility efforts focus on social problems and environmental issues. So that's why it's so important. This is the first task for you So if we're speaking about the advantages and disadvantages of corporate social responsibility, please try to find the answers for these two questions. The first question is, should companies engage in corporate social responsibility or not? Maybe some kind of critics. And the question number two, is it truly that the corporate social responsibility can bring the benefit for the company? So it can be some kind of proponent. Please try to make the short debate about these two questions, and we will discuss and follow this debate in class. What about the different models or approaches to corporate social responsibility? So we can find here the three main approaches. The first approach, business case; the second approach, social value; and the third approach, syncretic stewardship. So what do they mean, all of these approaches, and how can we manage these approaches and in which case? Let's start with the business case, the first model. So you can see that if we will make this continuum between the economic goals and non-economic goals, it means the social goals. So the business case, the model which called like the business case, it means it belong or focus more than on the economic goals, and primary focus on financial or other economical goals. So this approach to corporate social responsibility is driven primarily by the ability of corporate social responsibility initiatives to create positive business results. So the first task, to build this strong, profitable revenue. Because serving shareholders is paramount, a strong tie to economic outcomes drivers, corporate social responsibility investments. Companies following this approach may also be responding to other external drivers, such as the threat of regulation, activities targeting the business, or other negative events. In such businesses, corporate social responsibility is viewed as relevant only when it translates competitive advantage. So it means that if we can find the competitive advantage for this business case, it will be relevant issue for corporate social responsibility. What about the next approach or next model? It means the syncretic stewardship. So syncretic stewardship model, this is the third approach to corporate social responsibility with the rather unwinding monarchy. Syncretize means to unite and harmonize. It also means to combine, integrate, negotiate, and balance the competing claims of the right stakeholders. Such companies which use this model recognize the broad obligations to serve multiple stakeholders, but they also recognize that doing so is a jungle act. Companies that follow this approach find their business decisions rife with paradoxes, contradictions, and interdependencies. They tend to be large, publicly held firms with extensive international operations. And what about the next approach? It means the social values focus approach. So this approach defines a particular social issue as the force that drives even consumers in the organization. So corporate social responsibility is the organization's lifeblood and purpose, and it is integrated into the organizational fiber in every way. Visible symbols of the course can be found everywhere in the company, and as a result of the values-led approach, the employees who believe in the issue are drawn to such companies. Their convictions, values, energies, and innovativeness about the social issue lead social corporate responsibility initiatives in these companies to be approached with the real solving the problem is an imperative. So you can see the differences between these three approaches, but all of them are still effective for the high-tech marketing, high-tech companies, and these approaches can be used to enhance the high-tech marketing strategy. The third keys for you, according to this topic, my dear students, you can find here the table, and this table shows us the three approaches to corporate social responsibility. So here you can find these approaches: business case, social values, and syncretic stewardship. And also you can see the definitions or different element in the left side: objective, bottom line, key changes, and others. So your task is, please try to fill this table. Already the first approach business case already filled, and it can help you, but please fill the same features to the social value approach and the third syncretic stewardship approach. And after that we will discuss it in class. So what about the best practices of using corporate social responsibility for high-tech companies? So you can see here some kind of benefits which surround these best practices and why we should operate with the corporate social responsibility in the high-tech companies. So it can be found some kind of rewards. This corporate social responsibility can link to the innovation, can link the business to the innovation. So we can also link corporate social responsibility to business strategy, and we should do it. Only in this case we can implement the best practices from the corporate social responsibility inside our strategy. So balance competing stakeholder interests. Social corporate responsibility usually describe the interest of different of different stakeholders. So in this case we can meet their interests and build this strong and competitive high-tech marketing strategy. Also, we should measure the impact of corporate social responsibility, and we can implement the positive indicators inside our strategy. And corporate social responsibility also help us to collaborate with relevant partners and enhance our reputation, so provide us some kind of reputation effects. That's why it's so important. Also here you can see some kind of statistical information. It called like the soaring base of the pyramid markets. And here you can see how does the corporate social responsibility affect the social entrepreneurship. So you can see the three types of markets, high-tech markets, where this model works. So it can be survival markets, and you can see here the effects, the revenue, emerging markets, and also mature markets. So first of all, we should decide in which market we are located, and after that we can choose the right model of building corporate social responsibility and implement the social entrepreneurship. So the social entrepreneurship is the good idea for high-tech industries nowadays, to provide the high-tech products and services to solve the social problems. Concept of BOP strategy and the corporate social responsibility. I will try to explain you the benefits from these both strategies. So what does it mean also to provide this kind of concept? So it means that we should find, for example, if we want to build the strong corporate social responsibility, so in this case we need to build the strong continuum. So you can find here 4 main fields, and they submitted inside one continuum. And first of all, it will be the first step, just find the government assistance. So if we know if we knew the standards from the governmental standards in this industry, so we can be supported by the government. It will be a good idea for high-tech companies. Also, we have to find the non-profit organizations and try to find the support from them with the social oriented strategy, for example. After that, we move to the step number 3. It means that we can realize the corporate donations or provide the philanthropy. But the philanthropy, we should know that philanthropy often distributed through partnerships with government agencies, non-governmental organizations, and or, for example, non-profit organizations. And after that, we move to the step number 4. It means the building strong social relationships. So that's why you can see what kind of elements are included inside this concept and why it's so important for high-tech markets, and how does this concept can build this strong and relevant strategy inside the high-tech company. So what about the BOP markets, domains for intervention? And here you can see the 4 main domains: crisis, base of the pyramid, top of the pyramid, and chronic poverty. So what does that mean? The problems faced by people living in poverty, when viewed through the lens of entrepreneurship and capacity building corporate social responsibility, provide the underlying basis of imagining the solutions. So here you can see these solutions, and the two main vectors you can find here, two main ways. The first way combines the both first and the second strategy, and the second way combines the third and fourth strategy. So, what does it mean? If we are located in some kind of, in these domains, for example, domain number 1 or 2, so we can understand and use this kind of strategies for our high-tech products and build this strong corporate social responsibility inside this system. And also we can provide the some kind of assistance to support the corporate social responsibility. So the main questions which can be asked of us, whether the problem exists in the top of the pyramid markets or in the base of the pyramid markets, here. And the second, whether the problem is precipitated by a crisis. So maybe it's some kind of tsunami crisis, or whether the problem is chronic and ongoing. For example, it can be here poverty, illiteracy, or malnutrition. And if we're speaking about the markets of the future, it means the BOP markets. BOP markets issues as business opportunities. So what kind of opportunities we can meet? It can be demographic divide, financial divide, nutritional divide, natural resource divide, environmental divide, health divide, gender divide, educational divide, digital divide, and even security divide. So this is a good example how to manage the new markets. And this is a task. So we are working with the BOP markets, and you already know about the main domains for intervention. And please fill these tables. So some of the lines already filled. It's some kind of helpness for you. And here you can find, on the left side, you can find the BOP issue. And on the right side, you should fill the business opportunity. And for example, financial divide, the BOP issue, the opportunity will be minimized in inequities in wealth distribution, for example. So please fill this table, this slide and this slide also. This is the continuous of the table, and we will discuss result and make the discussion in class. That's all for today. So I finished my course called High-Tech Marketing. I hope that you already got a lot of information about the strategies inside the high-tech markets, how to manage the consumer behavior, how to prepare the effective communication program, what kind of models can be found into the new product development system, how can we build the interaction between the high-tech marketing system and research and development system. So I hope that you like this course, and I hope that you're also very productive in class activity. So, and if you will have any question, so you may ask this question in class. Thank you a lot for your attention, and see you in class. Bye bye.